Hey there, everybody. Pete Pardo here from Comic Book Geezers. Welcome to another episode of Villain Spotlight alongside my colleague here, Mr.
Hello, comic book fans. We're going to do a Flash villain today. Heatwave.
Heatwave, yes.
Mr. Mick Rory,
That's
Heatwave. Yeah, this is a Heatwave. This is the first Heatwave of my Flash collection. I got most of the Flash here between 200 and 300. This is issue 266. Does that say 266? It's better.
It does. Good call.
50-cent book when Marvel was 35 cents.
So this is what, 78?
Yeah, 1978. This is I believe, this is in November. No, actually, maybe a September issue.
October? Yeah, it says October.
October.
Yeah. That doesn't mean it published in October.
It
but
probably came out in July of 78 because they were always 3 months in advance, right? But this character first appeared in Flash issue 140 back in 1963, Heatwave. He was basically created as a rival for Captain Cold, another main rogue villain of
yeah, for sure.
the Flash.
One guy shoots cold stuff, one guy shoots hot stuff.
Yeah, so this guy was created by John Broome, who was the writer on Carmine, and Fantino was the artist. Sound familiar? The guy that didn't like Nova?
Yep.
I wonder if he liked Heatwave. I don't know. He drew him.
Yeah.
Probably liked Heatwave better because he had something to do with it.
Yeah.
Poor Nova.
Yeah, he took over Nova. Probably was like, why did I get stuck with this
Sabotage
book?
that shit.
Yep.
That's what he fucking did. That's what everyone says. I don't think the writing got weak.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a lot of issues with that comic, but yeah, I don't think you can blame
go down a
fully.
Frank Robbins path.
Yeah.
Some of that twisted foot artwork. Nova. I digress. But Heatwave was a guy that he was a pyro since he was a kid. He was obsessed with fire. He burned his own house down. Then he started burning other shit down when he was a kid. He got in trouble for it. He used to burn things down. And so he had this pyro fetish, you could say. And so he turned his mania into a crime. He wanted to be he started to become a thief. And so what he did was he invented this asbestos suit to protect himself from the heat and fire. And he invented himself a little pistol-sized flamethrower. Mm-hmm. And he would go around and melt shit with this Heatwave because he had this protection with the bodysuit, asbestos suit. And he had a pipe on his left arm that he could put out fires, right? And his goggles could send out invisible infrared rays, which could be used to melt stuff. Like if a cop showed up, he'd send out the infrared rays through his goggles, and the bullets in their guns would start going off and stuff like that. So he had a little bit of an invention side. If it wasn't for his inventions, he really would be a nobody, basically.
It's funny how he's one of the more notorious villains of Flash, and yet when you really think about it, he's pretty lame.
And he's only in 2 issues in my collection.
Oh, wow. Okay. There he is again. Yeah, he just looks like a guy in a hazmat suit, right? With a gun.
Yeah. Now, I'll get back to this in a second. But, yeah, so Heatwave. Oh, and Flash. Heatwave and Captain Cold, they unite and go on a crime spree throughout Central City. And each trying to outdo each other who can pull off the most capers. And, of course, Flash catches them both. So this guy winds up doing time. So he kind of repents, changes his ways later on. I didn't follow after, the 80s, so I don't know what happened later on in his life. Like the New 52 and all that. So I'm sure there's more antics to this guy's.
Oh yeah, because they picked his character out to be one of the main villains on the Flash TV series, and then he became one of the members of the DC's Legends of Tomorrow's as a
he's
hero.
Part of the Squadron Sinister and all that. I didn't go into all that because he's been part of a lot of evil groups.
Oh yeah.
But in this book, I'll give you a little bit inside the cover. I just picked this up at a con a couple of years ago. I have, over the past few years, expanded my Flash collection exponentially. I used to have 40, now I have maybe 80, close to 100 Flash books. So in this particular time, This is kind of paralleling when King Tut toured America, but they wouldn't call it King Tut. They called it
King Amos.
King of Moose.
King of Moose. King Amos.
King of Moose treasure. But the villain, it's almost like the Trojan horse theory. The robbers are inside the pyramid.
Yep.
The pyramid comes into the museum. At night when no one's around, the robbers and Heatwave, he melts the wall of the pyramid. That's what the little bullseye circles are down there in that corner. So guess what? They come out of the pyramid. People. Then, in the bottom panel there, you see the cops. Their guns are going off because that's the invisible infrared rays coming out of the goggles of Heatwave. So now the cops' guns are useless because they got no ammo. But the Flash shows up. But Heatwave melts the floor.
Yeah, he's got the things coming out of his eyes.
So he melts the floor and the Flash's boots stick to the floor. And then Heatwave tries to zap the Flash like a sneak shot from behind. And the Flash jumps out of his boots and does like a front flip and lands back in his boots to avoid the...
Which is what's depicted on the cover. It's kind of cool that they actually, what's on the cover actually does happen inside the book, right? You don't see that too often. Sometimes they give you these fake outs on the cover. And you're like, oh, look at that. And then you read and you're like, oh, that never happened on the inside.
It did, yeah. Right?
Yep.
Good move by Flash. Eyes in the back of his head.
Mm-hmm.
More subplot.
Nice little promo page for Dead Man and Batman. Here's some ice cubes for you.
That's Heatwave's nemesis, Cold. But what happens is Heatwave captures Flash. And when he captures the Flash, what's weird about this is when he knocks Flash out, disguised as Butler. Heatwave's disguised as his butler. So that's how he gets the drop on Flash. And then he unmasks the Flash. He's like, I got this guy unmasked, and I don't recognize him. I don't know who he is. He looks familiar, but I don't know who it is. I did the greatest thing. I caught the Flash. I unmasked him, but I don't know who he is. Oh, well, I'm going to cybernetically freeze this guy. And that'll be the end of the Flash.
That's it.
So then the next issue, which is 267, but you can't tell because the corner's been ripped off.
Oops.
By my friend Chris.
Oh, Mr. Quinlan strikes again.
We've talked about it on my very first Flash episode.
Yep.
I will not go into that. So, this is a Rich Buckler cover, Giordano cover. First Flash I bought off the rack as a kid. Special book for me. If I ever find another one that has a price 50 cents in the corner when Marvel was 35 still, I will buy it.
There you go.
This is a great cover though. Flash running around on fire after the Heatwave zaps him.
Yeah. Heatwave's blaze of glory.
Special edition story of the origin of Flash's uniform, but we're not going there. We're here to talk about Heatwave. Flash on fire, great cover page. Oh, by the way, it's Carrie Bates is the writer for these two books, and Irv Novick is the artist on the inside of these two books. Here's your back advertisement. Yep. Blaze of glory. So you got Heatwave bragging to you about how he captured the Flash and how he's going to cybernetically freeze him. And then, of course, he's got to make videotapes, VCRs. He's got his VCR camera making videos, explaining how he caught the Flash and all that rah-rah shit about nothing can stop him because he knows someday people will defrost the Flash, but he'll be dead. And so in the future, if Heatwave knows he'll be dead, but he wanted to leave some kind of recorded evidence of his triumph over the Flash. But meanwhile, the Flash is in a frozen state of animation here in his little cybernetic frozen tube here, and he's vibrating his feet. He keeps vibrating his feet, you know, moving his molecules to direct his force straight down out of his feet because the way he's tied up in that tube. And as you can see, all the energy is coming out of the bottom of the machine. It rumbles down through the walls, shakes the walls, and sure enough, the walls on the ceiling start to loosen some tiles, and falls down and cracks the bubble, cracks the case of the tube he's encrypted in, right? Kind of breaking his little cybernetic frozen sarcophagus, right? So that enables...
Snap it to a Slim Jim.
Yeah. So he gets loose. He gets out. He's on the run. The Flash, you can't be contained, right? So our hero escapes. Got to find that Heatwave bastard. What do you want, Barney? This is more subplot stuff. How about an advertisement for Batman and Hostess fruit pies? Batman and Robin. Forget this Barney kid. See, he's snooping around, looking at Barry Allen, looking at comic books. Now, if Comic Book Geezers was around back then, we might have been on this panel.
You never
know. Right here.
Yeah, exactly.
Look, going through my Comic Book Geezers pictures. I want to be as cool as Barry Allen someday. Then the Flash goes by the cops. You know, they got that flip-flop. Let's get back to the Flash running past the cops. So they go, oh, Flash is on the run. We might as well hit the cherries. Get on there. Let's see what's going on. Ah, it's that Heatwave guy. Yeah. He puts these goons in like suspended animation Heatwave bubbles. They kind of lift them up off the ground.
Yep.
Get out of my way. Nothing can stop me. I'm on a plan. So then the Flash shows up. And then Heatwave. Oh, you remember this spread? Remember this ahead?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That was a good one. They used to have one from Marvel with Dr. Doom's face.
Yep, Milk Duds.
Editorial letters.
The Vixen.
Yes. Now, Heatwave takes a shot at the Flash. And the Flash splits into two like molten fireballs. Kind of like the Human Torch, but not really. It's energy. He's moving so fast, it's almost like he's a star. He's like a molten ball of fire up here. But then he starts rising. And it's all because of that cybernetic frozen gas, like a comet, that he was, he'd been breathing. So now he's rising up into outer space, going up to hit a satellite. Kind of ridiculous if you ask me. But that's comic books for you.
Yep.
So, in typical fashion, the Flash does a big old whirlpool spin around Heatwave, makes him dizzy, makes him seasick, captures him.
So Heatwave in prison says that I wish I knew who he was. I'll never forget his face, but I don't know who the face is.
Yeah.
So, yeah, interesting.
So this is also, I guess, key in that Barry Allen's face is exposed. He's been captured. These two issues, his face is exposed. That's like Spider-Man's mask being unmasked.
Yeah.
Big deal. Batman being unmasked. The Flash has been unmasked, and you don't really brag about that.
No.
But I'm going to tell you. Yeah. Flash 267 and Flash 266 for all your Heatwave action between issues 200 and 300. Here it is, right here.
All of it.
I guess you can find them at 140. I don't have I went through my whole collection looking for. I have some issues in the 80s and the 90s because the 180s and 190s. He started with issue 90, I think, or 93, somewhere low. He wasn't. Flash didn't start with number 1, I don't think.
Yeah,
or this volume of Flash,
right,
not the one with the lightning helmet I'm talking about. This is the second Flash, really, right? So there you have it, guys. Thank you for watching. If you like comics as much as us, please click the like button. Yeah. Click the notification bell so you can be kept in the loop every time we have a new video too. That would help us. Thank you for your comments and your subscriptions. We appreciate you being here. And if you like comics as much as us, yeah, I do actually. There's blob in here. Filibustering. Look! Another drawing for you kids.
Oh, look at that.
Comic Book Jesus number 47.
Forget Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. How about
Self-medicated man?
Providing his own peer pressure. Next issue, baby impaled on fence. Oh, God.
Self-medicated man. Providing his own peer pressure. Film at 11. Next issue, baby impaled on fence. Disapproval code.
There you go. Look at that. Look at that green head of hair, man.
Woo. Blue face from whatever he's drinking. His hands.
That.
Yes, definitely Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde inspired. Mr. Hyde inspired for sure. But
providing his own peer pressure. That's great.
Yeah, all this stuff hit me later. You know, the writing. So I was glad I was able to blend those two together for you.
That's pretty cool. I like that.
Thank you.
Like that.
Yeah.
He's an interesting looking character. I'd like to see what happens to him after he takes his self-medication.
Oh, really? You don't want to see what's up with the next issue of Baby Impaled on a Fence?
Oh, that too, yeah.
Oh, jeez. I thought I was building a nice suspenseful segue to the next cartoon, but yeah, we can always come back to this guy. You want to see him hung over somewhere, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
He's either being sent home in a wheelbarrow, or
he's lying in a gutter in a pool of his own.
He's hung over in a chair, puking his brains out. All right, there you have it, guys.
That's the news, right?
Yes. Did I tell those guys to click the like button already?
I don't know.
If not, you better by now, damn it. Well, thank you for being here. As always, we thank you for being here, and we thank you for watching Comic Book Geezers. We'll be back next time. I've got some other monster books I'm going to show you, and we'll see what else we wrote for drawings.
That's right.
As always, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching Comic Book Geezers. I'm Wild Bill, saying we'll see you next time.
And I'm Pete. Have a good one, everybody. Catch you real soon. Bye-bye.